Thanks for joining us today on the Big Blue Podcast. I'm Leigh Goodson, and I'm joined by my co-host, Dr. Greg Stone, Provost of Metro Campus. Good afternoon, Greg.
Good afternoon, Dr. Goodson.
Here at the McKeon Center for Creativity, our guests today are Mary Cantrell, Associate Professor of English, and Lissa Steadley, the Director of Concurrent Enrollment Programs. They'll be talking to us today about concurrent enrollment at TCC, and there's a lot going on. What's the latest news on funding for concurrent enrollment? That's always a big topic because the reimbursement rate kind of comes in and goes away and comes in and goes away. So talk to us a little bit about the current funding that we're looking at from state appropriations.
Okay. Well, the State Commission on Concurrent Enrollment was very favorable toward dual credit at the state level, and we believe that our allocation, our funding, is going to increase. We're very excited that they actually proposed to fully reimburse dual credit, and we think that that is going to happen. We're hoping it is.
Great news.
Yeah, we're happy that the legislature is beginning to recognize how important concurrent enrollment is for our state economy. We're funded differently than other states. Concurrent enrollment here at TCC and in the state is funded differently. So we're glad that the legislature is beginning to see the importance of concurrent enrollment.
And is that full funding for both juniors and seniors, or just seniors?
Actually, the state mandatory 18 credit hours of tuition waiver is for seniors only.
Okay.
So that is what the reimbursement is based on. TCC is one of the last institutions in the state to actually extend a tuition waiver to juniors also, and we extend 6 credit hours per semester for the 3 semesters you're a junior.
So if there is that full reimbursement that does get funded this year, and as of when we're recording this podcast, we still have a couple of weeks to go in the legislative session, so hopefully nothing goes awry, but how will those funds impact our concurrent students?
Well, we believe that the tuition waivers will be, if not fully funded 100%, it will increase above what it was. This last year we got about 27 cents on the dollar, so that's very low. It's the lowest it's been. However, a fully funded program would just ensure that TCC can continue to provide the programs that we provide for concurrent students. The college absorbed the funding loss and continued to offer these waivers even to the juniors that were not required to. So we are very appreciative of the college and Dr. Goodson for being so supportive of dual credit and what it can do for these students.
Well, I think it's just it's really an economic development move, right? It's really to work to get students that would otherwise not have that experience.
Exactly, and I'm fortunate. My other title is the George Kaiser Family Foundation Endowed Chair for Concurrent Enrollment. So my job is I get to teach these students, so I get to see that impact directly on the students. And these are students who could not afford even the community college tuition. They wouldn't be able to take concurrent classes otherwise if we didn't provide this opportunity to them. Because I always ask my students to give me some feedback at the end of the semester. One of my questions I ask them is what they learned. What do you know about writing that you didn't know at the beginning of the semester? And I just brought a few of the quotes. One of my students said, "In this class, I learned to see my full potential and abilities as a writer." Another said, "I learned how to write a focused academic paper. I can actually write an 8-page paper over one specific topic, something I thought I could never do." So that's wonderful to see that impact on the individual student.
So there's been a lot going on at West this year. In fact, West enrollment overall is up, I think, 23 or 25%, and that's not all concurrent enrollment. It's both categories, but a lot of it is some of the work that we've been doing to move some of the classes and sections of concurrent to West for those surrounding high schools. Talk to us a little bit about that.
We're really excited about the sections that we've moved over to the West Campus. We have about 15 sections of cohorted juniors and seniors that we also cross-list for matriculated students, freshmen and sophomores, to come into also. About 5 years ago, we were sending faculty out into about 14 different high schools.
My goodness.
And we're actually down to 4 high school sites where we have faculty going out to, and we've brought the rest of those students into the campuses and into geographic sites. We did that for 2 reasons, really. One, based on the data, it's better for students. They actually are more successful and they persist from semester to semester at a higher rate when they take those classes on campus. And we've seen also positive outcomes from the campus. So they're participating in the life of the campus, and they're doing, activities with clubs and organizations and campus days. So that's really exciting. So the staff and the faculty on the campus have also enjoyed having these students.
What are the high schools where we're still on site, where we still send faculty?
We're at the Union Collegiate Academy and 3 Tulsa Public High Schools.
I see.
Well, I'm Greg Stone, and I'm here with Dr. Leigh Goodson, and you're listening to the Big Blue Podcast. And we're here today with Lissa Steadley, Director of Concurrent Enrollment Programs, and Mary Cantrell, who is Associate Professor of English, and George Kaiser, Family Foundation Endowed Chair for Concurrent Enrollment.
Very good.
I think that you have the longest title in the institution.
I think I might, yeah.
And of course, we're talking about concurrent enrollment at Tulsa Community College. Similar to what we were talking about at Northeast, there are also plans, at West Campus, there are plans for moving more of those concurrent enrollment, dual enrollment students to Northeast Campus. And since I just tripped over that, let's stop there, because I know I've asked you both this question before, and hopefully I'm not the only one. Concurrent enrollment and dual enrollment are not interchangeable terms, are they? Or are they?
They are not interchangeable nationally. However, in the state of Oklahoma, they are.
They do tend to
So
be
we
here,
call it
okay.
concurrent enrollment. We are a dual credit state, which means every college course is also transcripted onto a high school transcript, and the student gets dual credit. Nationally, the term concurrent enrollment is a model of dual credit taught by high school teachers. We don't do that here. We actually have our full-time and adjunct faculty teaching our courses. So yes and no, Greg.
Yes. And at some point, someday, I will remember that between the time we get to sit down and talk. Talk to us about the project at Northeast Campus and what school districts will be involved in that. Because similarly, again, to West, we're moving some folks to Northeast Campus as opposed to being spread out among some other high school districts.
The Northeast Campus project is really a 2-stage project. We're launching the first part this fall, and our anchor district is Owasso. Owasso high school students have a great new opportunity. This isn't moving. We've not been in Owasso High School, so this is a brand new opportunity for those students. And we're very excited to have Owasso High School students on our campus. And then the second stage is planned for the fall of 2019, and that will be Tulsa Public Schools will be joining us at Northeast Campus. And that is a movement, some part away from online classes and some part just getting them all into cohorted sections on Northeast Campus.
Does Webster attend West?
Yes.
Yes, so Webster will go to West, and then others will go to Northeast.
And the others will come to Northeast. And we
That's
have a few
wonderful.
coming to Northeast right now. I enrolled a McLean High School student into the Northeast Campus cohorts yesterday, and I had a Booker T student call today. So they're already aware that we're doing this new project, although they don't officially, TPS doesn't officially come in until 2019.
I'll just say too, it's a great opportunity for the students. I got to see when we had the teacher walkout. I'm teaching part of my section are at Rogers, and so we moved to Northeast Campus. And the students, they were working on the research project, so they got to get help from the librarians. They went around campus. They got student ID. They wanted to stay, and the data show that it changes their sense of themselves as students. So we really like the fact that we're going to be moving these students to a campus. We think that's a good move.
So let's talk about that for a minute. Remind us of how concurrent enrollment opportunities benefit students. For example, completion rates, retention rates, graduation rates. You talked about their confidence level, Mary. What are some? Give us some data points on
Okay.
that. Yeah.
So there's a lot of data, Jobs for the Future, and also Columbia University does a lot of national data on concurrent enrollment, a lot of survey data. Dual credit coursework has been shown to offer an on-ramp to post-secondary for traditionally underserved students. And that's really key for us, is that we're not only opening that door to higher education, but increasing the likelihood for their success. College GPAs are significantly higher for students who participate in dual credit while they're in high school. The Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education released the Oklahoma report recently, and in Oklahoma, concurrent students complete their courses at a very high rate, up in the mid-90 percentiles, which is very, very
That's
great rate.
amazing.
Dual credit also has a demonstrated effect on graduation rates. When compared with their peers, students that actually participate in dual credit are 12% more likely to enter college within 7 months after they graduate, 11% more likely to persist to the second year and then through that second year of college, and also between 16 and 21% more likely to earn that bachelor's degree than students who don't participate in dual
That
credit.
is incredible.
That's what we need more
So-
of in the Tulsa area for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Well, you both are doing just fantastic work in this area, so thanks so much for your commitment to that and your enthusiasm about it and helping the rest of us get a better sense of why it's important and reminding us why it's important. And you've both been with us before, although it's been a while, but we'll ask you the big question again that we ask all of our guests, which is, if you can go back in time and give your 18-year-old self some advice, what would that be?
Yeah, and I'm going to answer the similar way that I answered last.
changed,
It
huh?
hasn't changed, yeah.
Okay.
And I think I used to tell my son this: nobody looks back at their college years and says, "Boy, I wish I hadn't learned so much. I wish I hadn't taken so many classes."
There you go. I love it.
So I think I wish I'd told if I could tell my 18-year-old self something to do, it would be take more classes, keep learning, and enjoy the time you have in your life to learn. Yeah.
Melissa,
That's
what about
good
you?
advice. I wish you'd have been
It is
around
good
when I was
advice.
18. I think I would say to my 18-year-old self, take advantage of everything there is on the campus. Study abroad. Join the organization. Don't just plow through and get that done, right? Actually take advantage of every single thing there is. Find out what the resources are. Go do it.
Okay, so I'm curious as to how you all would answer the question. What would you tell your 18-year-old selves?
And no one has ever turned that back around on us
No,
before.
they haven't. Wow.
I know what mine would be.
Okay, you go first, so it gives me some time to think.
So I would tell my 18-year-old self to not be so afraid of a whole lot of things, but particularly of getting involved in meeting new people. Because I know I have a different reputation, but I'm an incredibly shy person.
I can see that. I can see it.
I'm
Yeah.
good in front of large crowd. Like, put me in front of 1,000 people and a microphone, and I'm fine. But put me in a room with like 5 people I don't know, and it's a whole different ball game. So I think that kept me from like getting involved in more student organizations. I mean, I did Phi Theta Kappa, but there's much more that I could have done and wish I would have done. I've led students on a study abroad trip, but I never would have thought about doing that myself as a student. So
Yeah.
that would be my advice to myself.
This is going to be the opposite answer of how you all answered this. I think I would, and I think I've heard this one before. Maybe I would not be so serious. I was really okay. Get the degree. Get the. I mean, I put myself through school, so I had a job the whole time, and it was. I don't know, and maybe I'm still kind of that way. I mean, just kind of getting through the tasks instead of being present in the moment. And so I would give any old self.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, just not speeding through everything. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And now we can end and say goodbye. So thank you for asking us that.
Yes, you've been listening to the Big Blue Podcast. We want to thank our guests, Mary Cantrell and Alyssa Steadley, for joining us today. Thank you, Greg, for co-hosting
Thank
with
you.
me. You can join us anytime on the Creativity channel at YouTube, and you'll find us every week on the week at TCC. Have a great day.
Thanks.